Welcome back to Belfast with the strongest men in the UK. Let's take a look back now at the first day of competition from Thursday. Now, the first challenge for these guys was the bus push. What's the technique here, Gary?
Slightly different from normal. Instead of pulling the bus, they're going to push the bus. They've got to keep low and drive hard.
Well, Ireland's Pat McNamara managed to get a time, but he was in some distress at the finish. As you can see, some damage to his right leg, and that would be it for Pat. He would have to pull out of the competition. Great shame for the big fella. But the winner of Group A, Simon Flint, well, he made it look pretty simple, didn't he?
This guy's an athlete overall. He is fantastic. Good leg strength.
And once he got that bus moving, it wasn't going to stop, that's for sure. Great time for Simon Flint from Group A. Now, the fast time from Group B was Russ Kirby, who was even quicker, 25.39.
Yes, a newcomer, unknown to the circuit, but he knew how to handle his bus.
Is it easier to push it or pull it? We usually see him pull it, don't we?
Slightly different, because you don't know where you're going, and I think that caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, and it certainly caused a lot of problems for poor old Pat McNamara.
It looks like I tore a ligament just at the start. Second push, coming from the start. I could hear the snap behind the knee. So it was a ligament or tendon badly torn.
But you still managed to finish the event?
Yeah, foolishly.
Well, the second event on day one was the tyre and anchor, which was won by the guy nearest to the camera, Gary McKelvey from Ireland. He finished it in a time of 53 seconds. And Gary, these tyres, well, the old cliche, they weigh a tonne. They don't quite weigh a tonne, but it must feel like it when you finished it.
No, 450 kilos, 1,000 pounds. They have to flip these tyres 3 or 4 times to the end of the course, but then it's not finished. They've got to run back and pick up an anchor that weighs about 100 kilos and run the full distance. Very hard event.
So it's not only a physically draining event, it's mentally sapping as well, because you're tempted to think, well, that's the hard part done, but it's not. You've got to go back and get that anchor.
Very difficult. You're actually drained by the time you finish the tyre flip. You've got to run back and run with the anchor as fast as you can.
Gary McKelvey made it look simple. 53 seconds. The Grim Reaper was disqualified. His scythe was too light. And over in the log lift, Dale Norris, Wales' strongest man, won his group with a lift of 145 kilos. This is all about power and technique. Dale made it look easy in his group. And then Glenn Ross in his group also stepped up, and he would lift 125 kilos. Very much a technique event.
Yeah, the boys with the big chests are the ones that lift the logs. As you can see, they get on the chest and then it's pressed to arm's length.
So this is how the leaderboards were looking at the end of day one, and I'm afraid it's goodbye to Andy Cairney and Pat McNamara. Poor old Pat, along with Andy, eliminated from Group A. And in Group B, it was goodbye and see you next year to Nigel Troy and Ross Stone.
Dale Norris, 24, Wales. I went to strongman by watching it on TV. I trained 3 days in the weights, 2 days strongman events. High calorie and high protein diet. All head events and squatting events, those good events for me. Weakest events, anything to do with grip.
Well, back now to the action on the final day and the Hercules hold. It'll break your heart and it'll tear your arms out of your sockets. First up, Terry Hollands, last year's strongest man. This is mind over matter, isn't it?
This is just hold and wait. The weight is on the arms and it starts to tear you apart, but they've just got to hold it as long as they can.
Yep, it sounds simple. Look at that technique. Very wide stance as he tries to really fight those cars. And the inertia, the momentum, just literally pulling those arms out of his sockets. What's a good time for this event?
Anything around about 30 to 40 seconds would be set the standard.
So Terry will not be overly impressed with this. 28.39. It's a good time, not a great time. Next up, England's Mark Lawson. I guess you start off all right with this event, Gary, then suddenly the tank just hits empty and that's it, it's all over, you can't hang on.
No, these cars are very heavy. Even with the best grip, you know what I mean, those handles, they just dig in and they tear you apart.
Now Mark's technique clearly to find a spot far away and concentrate on that. Just a little bit of Zen thinking here, just in his own little world. But now it's starting to kick in. And you could see that within 2 seconds of being in distress. He just had to let go. That's how quickly it happens.
Look at the pain on the face. This is normally a good event for Mark. Unlucky.
So, a disappointment for Mark Lawson. Next up, another Englishman, Dave Muir. Dave's technique a little bit different. We're getting the full facial expressions from Dave right from the kickoff. And he is suffering. He really is. Well, he's managed to get past 10 seconds. Goodness knows how, and yeah, can't quite make 15 seconds. He was struggling right from the moment when he had to take the strain.
Not a good event from Dave, but he tries hard.
14 seconds for Dave.
Yeah, trying is all you can do. Trying and suffering.
Up next we have representing England.
England's strongest man, Jimmy Marku, the newcomer. It'll be interesting to see how he copes with it. Well, there we go. He's taken the strain. And already he's starting to suffer inside the first 10 seconds, and he's blowing hard. And meanwhile, those cars continue to twist and pull at the sinews, and he's in trouble. 19.12. These fellas are finding this hard work, aren't they?
This is a hard one. Jimmy is a very good competitor, but he's even finding this very, very difficult, as you can see.
Well, how will the big man cope with the Hercules hold? Glenn Ross. Yep, he tells the referee he's ready. Well, in the past, Glenn has done very well at this event. He's looking composed through the first 10 seconds. But the face will give it away when it starts to hurt. He's done very well, 15 seconds. Look how wide his stance is. Now it's hurting. And again, within 2 seconds, he went from being comfortable to being absolutely finished.
I think that just proves how heavy this is. Glenn has got a phenomenal grip, but even he can't hold it for long.
Yes! Who's the daddy? Come on! Come on! Who's the father now?
They don't make him like Glenn Ross, do they? Here's Simon Morton of England. Let's see how he can shape up. First 3 seconds and it's hurting for Simon. This is hard work, dig in. But no, you just had a bad feeling for Simon as soon as he took the strain, he was in trouble.
Simon just got it all wrong. The shoulders are out of position, everything. Not a good one for Simon.
And he knew it, didn't he? Right from the start. Dale Norris, the Welshman. Anything with a grip he struggles with. You heard him say that. Well, how about this for a grip event? No. He knows his own strengths and his weaknesses, this fella, and that was never going to be one of Dale's great events. He walks away disgusted.
Once again, not a good event for Dale. 7 seconds knocks him right back down to the leaderboard.
And the last man in this event.
So, Simon Flint. Let's see what he can do. These arms are not made to be doing this. How's he doing? He's going to get to 10 seconds and looks okay. Well, this is a good effort from Simon Flint. Look at that, zeroed in. Just in his own world, hitting 20 and looking comfortable. Yep, he's okay at 25. This is a great performance from Simon Flint. At 25 he was okay though. He couldn't make 28, but he'll be happy with that. A good time.
Yes, Simon, renowned for his grip strength, we knew he'd give a good time. Good effort from Simon.
27.98 for Simon Flint. That is a very good time.
I was chuffed with that event. With going last, I could see what time I wanted to beat, and Gary called the seconds out for me. So I just held on to my time, came up, then just let go because I need to go more because I've won already. So happy.
Grip events particularly strong for you?
Yeah, I've got grip. This next event, the deadlift, should be good for me. Should first or second, hopefully. So see how it goes from there.
Yeah, so this is how the Hercules hold finished up. Simon Flint knew what he had to do, and he tore the field apart. 27.98, 6 seconds better than anybody else. But it's still Glenn Ross that's out in front after 2 events, but Simon Flint and Terry Hollands and Jimmy Marku tucked in there with him. Well, the competitors need a break, so we're going to give them one, but only a short one. Back with more from Belfast in just a couple of moments.